Recording in progress.
What up? What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your boy Trey Frazier. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all follow us on the Facebook page. Shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers. Make sure y'all click that like button. Also follow us on YouTube and also on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter also at Barbershop SPOR2. Maestro, my brother, how we feeling today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. How you?
I'm good, man. You know, another week, drinking water. This is what's today, the 12th? Yeah, the 12th. 12 straight days, nothing but water, man. So, I'm doing really good.
Feel?
Feel great. Feel great, bro. Like the you know, not to be graphic, but them bowel movements, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's old people talk. I feel you.
Yeah.
That's old people shit. That's those things we got to worry about at our almost advanced stage.
Facts. But before we get into the sports talk and everything, since I'm the Brooklyn kid on this podcast, I just want to send a shout out to all the folks that got hurt on the train today in Brooklyn this morning. Somebody with a mask on walked into the train. I forgot what you call those things, but they basically smoked out the whole train car and just started shooting. And dude fled the scene, and there's all kinds of video out there. People are running from the train. People are stumbling out the train, falling to the platform, bleeding, and all that stuff. And thank God nobody died. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
No casualties and none of that stuff. 26 people hurt, injured, in some capacity. So, shout out to those people and shout out to their families too, because
sure, prayers and condolences for sure.
It got people, if your head's not on a swivel now, it definitely got people, looking sideways now. So now that I got that out the way, let's talk about Dwayne Haskins, who Saturday morning lost his life to trying to cross an expressway down in Florida, and reports were that he got hit by a dump truck. Nobody knows why he was out there on the expressway, but just an unfortunate situation, man. I was actually I was out at the trampoline park with the kids, and I just said, you know what, let me flip on Twitter for a second, see what's popping. And I think I saw your post first, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins, and I was like, oh shit, what the hell happened and stuff. And then I found out about what happened in Florida, and I guess he was practicing with the quarterbacks and some other teammates and stuff.
In Florida,
and that it's just sad, man. Like, the dude was 24 years old, had his whole life ahead of him. Had a fresh start in Pittsburgh, had a legit chance to compete for the starting job, even though, right, had a legit shot, and it's just sad, man. I'll toss it to you. How will you remember Dwayne Haskins?
That's a tough question. I was at my daughter's basketball practice working out with my other daughter because, in my fitness journey, I realized I'm going to have to include them in order to get this right.
Yeah.
And it popped on my phone that he had passed, and like you said, my immediate reaction was, oh shit, and except I said it out loud. And my daughter was like, what's going on? I had to tell her, football player died. She young, she don't really care.
Right.
But as far as remembering Dwayne Haskins, look, this is what I would say. I think this is a sensitive time because he had I think it's a sensitive time, so I don't want to talk about how I remember him because that doesn't paint a appropriate picture for what just happened. What I will say is that that boy was 24. That was a child. That boy was 24 years old. I don't mean child in a disrespectful way. I just mean he was young. He was young.
Yeah.
He hadn't started living life, and he came to Pittsburgh, and you hear all the remarks from Chase Claypool's and Mike Tomlin and other players.
Yeah.
And other members, people affiliated with the Steelers, and it was just like the dude came in and he immediately blended in. He was ready to kind of put some of those past things behind him, some of those narratives, and and he was all right, let's play football now. And it's sad that before he really got a chance to prove who he could be and what he could do, that this happens. And I don't question God, I don't question those types of things, but you are left with, damn, like he didn't get started.
Yeah.
And I'll just say rest in peace and prayers and condolences to the family and all those involved. Now for the fuckery, Gil Brandt, and I get that he's apologized since those statements.
I don't want to hear it.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I don't want to hear it.
Look, I don't know what your relationship is with him or why you felt like that was the type of story to tell on the immediate response of him passing. But that wasn't it, bro. And that wasn't it. And I would hope if it hasn't been already, there is some type of a discipline with his bosses, because that's bullshit. That's flat out bullshit. Adam Schefter and the same. And
I was gonna say
maybe
I'm more disappointed with Adam Schefter than Gil Brandt. I'm more disappointed with Adam Schefter because
I heard words with Gil Brandt. Words were spoken about that little play on words with death. Like I take words serious. That's who I am as a person. So those are the words you spoke on your public platform, and that Adam Schefter, I'm disappointed in him as well. But I can't say I'm more disappointed in Adam Schefter, and I'm not about to shoot him no bail. Don't get that confused, because he's not getting shot no bail neither. But Gil Brandt went on to speak about all the negatives of I mean,
sure,
it almost seemed like nothing was said positive in that clip of him, and then the audacity of you to think that was okay. Like, you are a public sports figure in this sports game, and for you to think that you was about to get that off is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and the fact that there hasn't been any punishment that I've heard of is ridiculous from his employers, because that's bull. You shouldn't be allowed to speak on somebody in that manner, and they just literally died hours ago. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. There should be punishment for that.
So I'm not a Gil Brandt fan.
Neither am I.
I do see his tweets every now and then. I don't follow him on Twitter. It's just that
neither do I.
I see his tweets because other people that I follow him. So
yeah.
So here's why I'm more disappointed in Adam Schefter. Number one, you're like the Adrian Wojnarowski of the NFL, of that network. They just paid you, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just gave this guy another bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just announced it last week that, he got an extension, he got millions coming to him, and you the top dude. Like, whenever there's NFL news that's breaking news, like, niggas come to you for that. Like, they looking to see, what's Adam Schefter gonna, drop now? Like, what's going on? And, we've had this crazy NFL offseason so far, right? And this isn't his first mistake. Like, within the last month or two, he's had like maybe two more of these things where it's just like, yo, bro, like, what are you saying in these tweets, bro? Like, your language, the words you're using are inappropriate. Like with the Deshaun Watson thing, like he got smoked for that. I'm trying to remember the other thing that he tweeted out that he caught smoke for. But in regards to Dwayne Haskins, you could have left out that he was a struggling quarterback. You could have left that out. And I'm glad someone brought this up on Twitter the other day, because I was thinking the exact same thing. When Cole Brennan passed away last year, and somebody dug that tweet up by Adam Schefter, and as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna bring it up right now because I just so happened to screenshot it, and I said, you know what? I need to save it for the show just so that people can understand, who don't understand why he's taking so much heat, why it is. So this was Adam Schefter's tweet when Colt Brennan passed away. Colt Brennan, who set numerous NCAA passing records at Hawaii, has died at age 37. His father, Terry Brennan, told the Star Advertiser and all that stuff. But he basically said, hey, Colt Brennan, had all these passing records at Hawaii. Yeah. Last time I checked, Dwayne Haskins broke a couple of records at Ohio State also. I think he had, 50 touchdowns that one season. And, he broke a couple of records when Ohio State. So, Adam Schefter...
found something better to say, is what your point is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm more disappointed with him because he is held to a higher standard in my eyes than Gil Brandt is. I'm not a Gil Brandt fan. I don't listen to whatever that show he's on. I don't follow the dude, but everybody knows who Adam Schefter is. Everybody looks for Adam Schefter when it comes to breaking news in the NFL, and he holds a much higher platform. So that's where my disappointment comes in at with Adam Schefter.
Okay, and I won't attempt to attack your feeling. About, because I'm not more disappointed in either one of them. I'm disappointed in both of them.
They're both egregious, no question.
Yeah, but both of the shit is bullshit, and both of the shit is, and look, man, I'm black. I don't know no better, bro. Especially why are you attacking this black man and he just died, bro? I don't give a fuck. Hey, bro, I don't care about none of your narratives, none of how you feel about that black man. He just died. He was doing whatever he was doing, and I don't know, and I don't care what he was doing when he got hit and when he passed, when he met his demise.
Yeah,
I don't care what he was doing.
Yeah, facts.
Don't sit there and say nothing negative. Like, man, it goes back to Gil Brandt liable to get to taste smacked out of his fucking mouth. Like, stop talking about people's, that dude died.
90 years old and all. I'd smack him.
That has nothing to do with football. I'm sorry. That has nothing to do with what happened.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit here and try to sum up his career as if he died as an old man and had a prime.
He should have stayed a year longer at Ohio State. Like, come on. Come on, fam. Like,
bruh, we're not this is not this is a sad death. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the time to be sitting there talking about what could have been and nah, bro. It's nasty. It's nastiness. This dude was 24 years old. We don't know what his career would have been. So you gonna draw this narrative like he wasn't a good person and like you knew him or like Nah, it's nasty. It's nasty. I don't respect it from Gil Brandt or Adam Schefter. I think Adam Schefter on his side is like, bruh, have more class. Have more class. I'm not saying he is classless, but that tweet was a classless tweet. It was classless.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro,
you're out of pocket for that, man.
Better than that. You're expected to be better than that. Like, to your point, with the reach that you have, you're expected to be better than that, and you failed. And ESPN should be held to the carpet to the point where ESPN has to discipline their employee.
Yeah, facts. After they just gave you a bag. like an extension.
I don't. You should be disciplined. You should
got to
be
be
sat
doing that.
down. I don't know how that works with in his position, but you should be sat down. You should be
Well, look,
punished.
they suspended Woj. I remember they suspended Woj a couple years ago for something he said, towards that whole China thing. So if it's like, okay, if you could suspend that guy, you can suspend Adam Schefter. Like, I don't think that's
what's taking so long. So
right.
In my book, what's taking so long?
Right.
Him and Gilbrand, what's taking so long?
I get it's the off season, but I don't care. I mean, I could listen to other people break news. I could listen to, I could listen to local sports talk radio and get breaking news. You know what I'm saying?
God forbid we don't get breaking news that fast because he's suspended for 2 weeks. Like, I don't care. Like,
right.
What's the difference between me getting the breaking news 20 minutes earlier from when police report get it? I don't care about that. You should be punished for your crimes.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. With all that said, rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. Prayers and condolences to his family, to everybody affected, to the Washington Commanders, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to Ohio State. I saw the Capitals did a moment of silence for him Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely for the Commanders putting some type of decal on the back of their helmet, just like the Steelers putting some type of decal on the back of their helmet.
I think the Penguins did something too on their game on Saturday too. So.
Okay, I heard about the Capitals, but okay, but
they played the Capitals Saturday.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah, that was in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Okay, we're saying the same thing.
All right.
I want to go to the Facebook live chat here for a second. We got Mocha Bella in here, and Reggie Lawrence, who's Dollars and Cents, long time no see, was good. He's got a comment here, and he's saying he couldn't identify Gil Brandt out of a lineup of two people, but Adam Schefter is NFL personified. Facts. Like that's the thing for me that kind of takes him, over the top for me. Is like, dude, you people know you. People you have this reach. So for you to be making these mistakes, and it's not just this one, it's what you said about Deshaun Watson. It's about what you said about another athlete. Like, we're getting, like, this is 3 in a row now. So
I'll say this and I'll leave it. I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. I don't wish violence on nobody, but these are the type of mistakes that get people slapped. Mm-hmm. And it's very clear that if Will Smith can get it off, that other people think they're gonna be getting it off, and I leave it there.
Yep, and if somebody was to slap him, I wouldn't cry one bit for it. I wouldn't have no outrage or nothing like that. But for me, in regards to Dwayne Haskins, I just want to reflect on, and I don't pretend to watch a lot of Ohio State football, but I will acknowledge that he broke a couple of records there. The 50 touchdowns in a single season by an Ohio State quarterback, and I forget what the second record was, but yeah, he was probably one of, if not, one of the best Ohio State players in the history of the program. When you look at it from that regard, I remember a game. This is when he was on the Commanders. It was a game they played Joe Burrow and the Bengals. This was the game where Joe Burrow tore his ACL, and all the guys surrounded Joe Burrow and was like, "Yeah, man, we wish you luck," and all that stuff. And that's a usual casual thing, for both teams to do that. So it's nothing as special about that. But I think what was more special about it was that Chase Young, Terry McLaurin, Dwayne Haskins, they all went to Ohio State. And I remember somebody asking, hey, what did that mean to Joe? And they was like, look, Ohio State is a brotherhood, so we look out for our own. So I thought that was pretty interesting that those 4 players in that one shot of Burrow being hauled off the field was a bit interesting there with the brotherhood and all that. And last but not least for me, because I wanted the Giants to draft Dwayne Haskins in that draft, because that was the Daniel Jones, draft him up, if I'm not mistaken, right? And obviously, we know what happened there. The Giants took Daniel Jones. The football team took Dwayne Haskins. It seemed to me like, because, there's athletes that don't embrace playing for their hometown. And obviously, there's disadvantages to it where you got people from the neighborhood, you got people wanting tickets and, distractions and things like that. Dwayne Haskins, to me, looked like he embraced playing for the hometown team, being that he went to high school in Potomac, Maryland, from the area, that kind of a thing. So,
I used to ride the bus past that school all the time,
Bullis, that's right. Yep. It seemed like when he got drafted there, and just from an honesty perspective from me, I didn't want him to get drafted there because we know how the Redskins operate as a franchise. But it seemed like he embraced wanting to play for the hometown team. Like he wasn't scared about the potential distractions or consequences or what have you. It seemed like he embraced it. So rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, and condolences to the families and everything, man. It's just a sad story, man.
For sure.
What direction do you want to go from here?
Do you think that the 49ers are dumb enough to let Deebo Samuel get away from them?
You would think not. you would think not, and I hope for that team's sake, because aside from George Kittle, he's the best player on that offense. Arguably could be the best player on that whole team.
So obviously. Oh, I'm sorry. I let you finish your thought.
Yeah, I just was gonna say they would be dumb to let this guy walk, and I understand that Stephon Diggs got his deal in light of Tyreek Hill getting money, in light of Devontae Adams getting money. Yeah. Deebo Samuel has every right to go to the 49ers and say, hey, these niggas got their money, and
I want it right now.
And
I want it right
and
now.
And you might not put me in the class with those guys, but I could catch, and I run the rock too. I'm a dual threat.
I don't see how they don't put him in that class. And I don't mean from obviously I think Devontae Adams is one of the, if not the best route runner in the league. He's one of the best. Tyreek Hill is probably the fastest. Stephon Diggs is probably one of the most combative. I get, and all those people deserve their money. Deebo Samuel's yards per catch was highest in the league last year. His yards per run is like third or something, like third highest in the league, something like that. That offense gets going because of Deebo Samuel and nobody else. George Kittle was there, and respect to him, but he don't do what Deebo Samuel do. And as a matter of fact, there aren't many receivers. I don't, and I keep it a buck with you. I was going to try to.
I can't think of one.
Stay safe.
I can't think of one.
There's not one that does what he does in the league right now. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Now, I'm not saying he should be the highest paid receiver in the league. I'm not saying that. But should he at least be getting Stephon Diggs money right now? I mean, right now, there's no doubt in my mind that right now, Stephon Diggs on that San Francisco 49ers team should be getting Stephon Diggs money right the fuck now. And it should be happening.
He should be getting Tyreek Hill money. And again, my argument for Deebo Samuel is, not only is he a receiver, but they put him in the backfield, and when they run plays for him, his yards per game is he produces it. Pay the man his money now. I'm sorry.
And let's be clear, this offense is mid anyway. But you take Deebo Samuel off that offense, and they borderline trash. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. They borderline trash without Deebo Samuel on that team.
Hey, they was trash in that win against Green Bay.
Let's
keep it real.
And who got it going? And who got it going when they got it to him? Deebo Samuel's got them in the end zone. So let's be clear, man. Like that, nah, he got every right to feel how he feel. That he taking all San Francisco 49er related stuff off his social media and all this. Y'all better make it right. But there is a rumor, Trey.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that after conversations that Deebo Samuel has legit been placed on the trading block, and they will accept any reasonable offers for Deebo Samuel.
They are.
That's what's being.
That
reported.
is some arrogance right there, by the 49ers brass right there. That's some arrogance.
Oh, I hope somebody give him some real give them some real compensation. And keep it a buck, they're not gonna take it. They know what they got on that team. They're not trading Deebo Samuels.
Yeah.
They could have they're not gonna trade him.
If they smart, they won't do it. If they're smart, they won't do it. Now here's the thing about it too, because John Lynch, who's in that front office, has been rumored to be taking like a broadcasting job with Fox because of the whole Buck and Aikman over to ABC and all that. There's been rumors about that. I don't know if that's caught any more steam that it has. But if John Lynch is not in that front office, and whoever come in there or whoever get promoted step up within, they might just do something stupid and say, "Hey, here's Deebo Samuel. Let's get some draft picks."
Trey, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. It don't take a premier GM to look at what Deebo Samuel did last year and for you to realize you got to pay that man.
I agree. You shouldn't.
I don't know what their cap situation is. I don't know who their highest. I mean, I would imagine that Jimmy Garoppolo is up there, but he's leaning towards the end of his contract.
Yep.
I would assume that Nick Bosa is probably somebody you're gonna have to pay soon.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that,
I was gonna say, does Kittle got his money yet?
I think Kittle just got a contract. I think.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he just got a contract this past offseason.
Right.
So, it ain't but a few people that really need to get paid, and when you put it in the line of priority, I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, if some people, and this is if Kittle don't got a contract, like I said, I think he does. But if he didn't,
right.
If you're asking me, and it's just my personal opinion. I give Deebo Samuels a contract before I give George Kittle one. And the only person I'm thinking about maybe giving a contract to before him is Nick Bosa because it's the pass rusher.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to pay the pass rusher. You got to do that.
But besides that, Deebo Samuel need to be getting his money, and it need to be coming soon. But it need to be coming soon, because last thing you need is for him to be disgruntled playing football this year.
Here's dollars and cents in the Facebook live chat talking about Deebo Samuel. Says, he's very good, but very injury prone, and the way he plays, there's no way you can pay him and Kittle at the same time. He deserves to get paid, but can't afford him. Basically saying if Kittle's got his money, then how are you going to pay them both? I partially agree with that, but the problem is that Jimmy Garoppolo right now is taking up a portion of that cap, and if they trade him, which I thought they were going to do up to this point, then now you're talking, okay, now there's some room. Now you got some money that you could possibly pay those guys. But
see, this is the very moment. This is the very moment where we need statisticians looking up shit. Because I don't mind being wrong about a lot of shit, but right now I would love to know that whether George Kittle is paid, has gotten an extension now, because I feel like he did, but I don't know it for a fact.
Yeah, and I don't know either.
and more than that, Deebo Samuels, nah, he gotta get his money. And San Francisco, and if they let him go somewhere else,
right.
That's their loss. I ain't. That's their loss. You pay that man. I'm sorry. His usage rate. You pay that man.
And dollars and cents threw out another name when we were trying to think of a player that does both catch and run. He mentioned Christian McCaffrey, and kind of like he said in regards to Deebo Samuel getting hurt, Christian McCaffrey also gets hurt also. But Christian McCaffrey got his money, right?
And I ain't gonna hold you, Christian McCaffrey. He a good player. Please don't take this like shade, but he ain't no dog like Deebo Samuel. Like I mean, I get you, and I get he's just talking about in the scheme of somebody who does both. I get it,
right, yeah,
but
yeah.
I get it. And then here's the other piece. I mean, and Christian McCaffrey is a running back, and I think that's just treated differently. That's obviously treated cheaper than how they treat the wide receiver. So I can see how Christian McCaffrey got his money. But Debo got to get his money, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's just where I'm at. Debo got to get his money. San Fran would be. I think they would be making a mistake if they didn't give him his money expeditiously.
Yo, dollars and cents is on the stats right now, bruh. My man doing the research for us. Kittle signed a 5-year, $75 million contract extension back in August. And as far as the cap relief, it's a low base salary and a cap hit of just $5.5 million, which includes bonuses, which I don't know how that works. But basically, he's got an extension right now, and he's on that particular contract. So it's year 2? He'll be going on year 2 of that contract. Right. So I can see the issue in trying to pay Deebo Samuel. I think the solution is you trade Jimmy Garoppolo's ass and you get some of that money, get some of that compensation back from whoever trades for him, and you'll have enough money to pay Deebo Samuel. I think that's really how it's going to work.
Well, again, I would love to know what their salary situation is. But let me be clear. Let me be clear, because I don't know, and truth be told, I don't care that much. I'll tell you. Here's the thing: they lose Deebo Samuel, that offense goes down. Period.
Oh, of course. Like that's
period.
Yeah, I mean,
like down, like down. Like if you thought they was like I said, that they a mid offense with Deebo Samuel.
Now what if they trade Jimmy Garoppolo and it's Trey Lance and they don't have Deebo Samuel? How does that offense look?
They still mid. We know Trey Lance gonna come in and be that dude immediately. Mm-hmm. You believe that immediately he's gonna come in?
I think he brings a different dynamic than Jimmy Garoppolo does. I mean, obviously Trey Lance can run. There's questions about whether he can throw, but he's considered to be a dual threat quarterback. I think he brings that dimension. I don't think that offense would be complete trash without Deebo Samuel if Trey Lance was at the helm. I don't think it would be a great offense. I think it would just be an offense that would be different under Trey Lance than it would be under Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think they'd still be mid at the end of the day. You need Deebo Samuels if you. Here's
no question.
Here's another piece. Mm-hmm. Here's another piece. I guess the NFC at the end of the day ain't a whole bunch of scores in the NFC. Tampa is there. Green Bay's there.
Dallas.
Dallas is a scoring team.
Maybe Arizona. Maybe Arizona.
Did I say LA? Did I say the Rams?
You didn't say the Rams, but yeah, the Rams can put points up. I think the Cardinals can put up points too when Kyler is on. When he's on his game going in, they could put points on the board too.
I guess, but look, man, I tell you what, the defense, if that offense is going to be mid, the defense better be ready to you know what I'm saying, supplement that.
Yeah,
they better be ready to supplement that.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Deebo Samuel's go, that offense is trash, and maybe Trey Lance puts it back up to mid, but I'm not so confident that happens.
Offense was trash. I mean, in some spots, the offense was trash.
It was mid.
Yeah, offense was trash with them in the lineup. So,
but I'm gonna say overall, that's a mid offense. Overall, I get some. I mean, every offense has a bad game. Overall, if you look at that offense, that's about a mid-level off. They're a
running team. They're a running team in a system that if you're an average running back, you can thrive in that system.
Yeah.
It's not
Mostert gone.
Right. And you really it caters to the running back more than it does the wide receiver. Let's get into some playoff predictions in the NBA, man. I'm ready for, and I know I said last week that I'm ready to get to 1 through 8, but some of these games are interesting. Yeah. You got a game in progress right now that is getting out of hand right now, bro.
I would love to know what's going on.
64-45. The Nets are up. Third quarter just started. But
I would love to sit here and pretend like I'm surprised, but
no, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
I mean, my expectation is that the Nets will get the 7th seed and play the Boston Celtics. That's my expectation here. But I was hoping for a more close, entertaining basketball game. But Cleveland is, let's just be real about it. Cleveland has been on a slide for about, I'd say, 3-4 weeks now. They're like 2-8 in their last 10 games. Jared Allen is gone for the season. That was a big part of their defense. And they've really struggled since he went down. So I have a hard time believing that Cleveland, even whoever they got to play next, whether it be Charlotte or Atlanta, I got a hard time believing that the Cavs are going to get out of this play-in. Like, I expect them to win. I expect them to lose tonight, and I expect them to lose a couple of days from now to whoever that is.
100%. I'll keep it even more buck with you. If Jared Allen was there, healthy and thriving, if he just so happened to have to be, if the Cleveland just so happened to have to be in the playing game against the Brooklyn Nets with KD and Kyrie, I'm not saying they'd be getting their boots smoked, but I am saying that Cleveland don't have an answer for that Brooklyn. They don't have an answer for that Brooklyn.
They'll still lose.
And it's like I said about Cleveland when they were up. Mm-hmm. Round of applause. That's what's up. But if you're asking me to take them serious in a playoff series, let alone a play-in, I don't take them serious against really nobody unless they happen to draw Philly. And I hate to be shading Philly right now while Embiid got his scoring championship. But if you know my thing, like you gotta have a dog that's gonna get it in and get buckets when the game is tight. And only reason I'm saying I would give them a chance, I'm not saying I would pick Cleveland over Philly, but I would give them a chance is because I don't believe James Harden. That's the only reason I would give them a chance. But Cleveland got a whole bunch of I hate that.
I was gonna say because Darius Garland's had a pretty good year. What's a good year? He averaged 21 and 9 assists this year.
And I'm not saying those aren't good stats. Let me be clear on that.
Right.
Shouts out to Garland.
Right.
He not that dude though.
Not yet. I'm only talking about this year. Sure.
I'm only talking about this year. He's not that dude.
But I don't think nobody expected that. I don't think nobody expected that from him. I think that's where I'm going with it. It's not.
Guess what?
What up?
They gonna expect it next year, so I hope he's ready to step it up.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Level if he that guy.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna take 21 and 9 on a Cleveland team that nobody expected to win games and be like, oh, Garland is that dude. I don't believe that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Believe that.
I don't know.
You have to show me. You gonna have to show me.
I don't know. No, that's just fine. That's fine. I'm just saying I don't want to dog the Cavaliers season like, I mean, nobody expected them to be. What?
No, I didn't mean that to dog them. I'm just saying realistically, I look at this team and this team ain't messing with Miami. This team ain't messing with Brooklyn. This team ain't messing with Boston. This team ain't messing with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
Look, I don't think healthy. I'm putting my money on Atlanta against Cleveland. I'm putting my money on Atlanta.
Yeah.
If Cleveland was healthy, I'm still putting in a play-in. I'm still putting my money or series. I'm still putting my money on Atlanta.
Well, series, it's obvious. I mean, who you put your money against in a series, but if we're just talking one game, I mean, anything's possible here.
Sure, I'm just saying I don't believe him yet.
Dollars and cents, and I think Dollars and Cents is a Cavs fan too. He says he agrees with us. He says the Cavs are too young. If they have Allen, I give him a shot versus most. Also says Garland will be a beast. He stepped up when Sexton went down. I forgot about that. Colin Sexton went down earlier in the season, and Rubio. I forgot Rubio was on that team too, and he was playing pretty good for them. So, he stepped up when needed to be. The Cavs, I think under people's expectations for the season, I think they overachieved.
Right, and that's the thing. They overachieved, and so is that overachievement the standard for next year? I say no.
No, they're going to be expected to do more. Look, they're going to be expected to not be a play-in team. They're going to be expected to finish between 1 and 6.
Really? That's the expectation you have for them?
I would think so. And let's not forget they traded
the expectation they have for themselves. I get that, but I don't think that's the expectation for them.
Well, let's not forget they traded for Karis LeVert in the middle of the season. And if you remember, and I'm wrong about this, I'll admit that I thought that addition to what they already had was gonna keep them where they were. I think they were like the 4th or the 5th seed at the time.
Yeah, 4th, right.
I thought that move was gonna keep them right where they were, around that trade deadline. And it turns out, I was wrong about that, and I didn't expect that Jared Allen's absence was a bigger deal than what it was. So they're going to. I think there's expectations for Cleveland next year. There's going to be high expectations if you do this. I mean, what they go 43? What they go 4? What they go 44 and 38?
I don't know, but I don't think they're.
No, I'm telling you, they went 44 and 38. So
okay.
So if they want,
I still don't think their expectations are high.
So if they won 44 games, what you think? The expectations, what, 47, 48?
I think their expectations.
50?
I think their expectations is to just do what they did this year.
But that could involve another being in a play-in spot.
That's the expectation. Yeah.
The East is better. East is better now, man.
If this 100%, I still look at this team as a first round exit team. That's what I look at this team as.
No, sure. No, I get that. It's just
I don't see them being much. If nothing crazy changes this year, I mean in the off season. I'm sorry. If nothing crazy changes in the off season, I don't see why. I see them the same. I see them the same.
And Dollars and Cents says yes, expectations 1 through 6. So and I get he's a Cavs fan, so he's gonna put that pressure on them more than anybody on here. But I'll accept
it.
Also says LeVert got hurt for like 2 weeks. I didn't know that either. So I don't pretend to watch a lot of Cavs games. I think the one game I remember was them against Toronto on a Sunday night, and that's when I was telling you on the pod that, these dudes got some trees on this team. Like, I didn't realize, they were this good, whatever. So man, Brooklyn's gonna get the 7th seed. They're gonna play Boston.
Yep.
I'm not ready to quite predict that series just yet. But I did want to get into some of the Eastern Conference matchups that are already set.
Did you want to talk about the other play-in?
Atlanta and Charlotte.
Yep.
Yeah. I ain't gonna front, bruh, because I've been thinking about this, and I know I said, Atlanta's gonna win, the play-in to get that final 8 spot, but something tells me, bruh, I'm looking at Charlotte and what they did, and I'm looking at Atlanta and sort of the struggles that they've had just compared to what they did last year, getting to the conference finals and all that. Not the same team like they were a year ago, but then Charlotte comes in, and Charlotte's kind of, that meddling team like they were in the play-in last year. And they got bounced by Indiana of all teams. Like that was a bit surprising to me, but Yeah, I think the Hornets are just as good as Atlanta is. I think the difference is Ice Trade. That's the common denominator. Now,
Same thing I said last week.
In terms of numbers and all that stuff, the numbers are close, but Trey, playoff Trey is a real thing. I'm a Knicks fan. I know they knocked us out early last year.
And the Sixers know.
That's yes, facts. The Sixers know that too. That's a real thing right now. So I guess I'm gonna lean towards your motto, and you gotta believe it to see it. I gotta believe it to see it if Charlotte's gonna win this game tomorrow night. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be closer than tonight's game, obviously, but I'm not ready to go there yet with Charlotte. But they made me think about it really hard though. Like given the season they had, all the players, Miles Bridges had a good year, PJ Washington, Terry Rozier, dropping buckets and everything like that. Like they got guys. That can, that could shoot, that could, get you buckets. It's just that they've been in the spot last year, and it's like, okay, did they really learn anything from last year? I don't know that they did. But I'm gonna be safe with this one, and I'm gonna pick Atlanta to win the game tomorrow night. But I'm not gonna be shocked if Charlotte pulls this off.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would be.
You'd be shocked.
Trey scored. I'd be shocked. I think Trey Young is gonna score 40 and up, and they're not gonna be able to deal with that. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. You think it's a blowout, or you think it's close? And
no, I think they fight. I think they fight. I like LaMelo Ball, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like that dude. I don't know that he's gonna evolve to, that main guy, like that primary scorer, and
right.
And he shoots and he does all the right things. But I don't know if he's gonna evolve where he's like, Ja, Steph, those
right.
Lillard, like I don't know if he's gonna evolve to that.
Yeah.
But I like the dude.
He's more of a Chris Paul type though. He leans more towards that.
Or even that type. But Chris Paul, and especially last playoffs, has had moments where it's like, all right, it's on me then.
Yep.
And he'll perform.
Mm-hmm.
And which had been a criticism of mine with Chris Paul. So
yeah.
I don't know if LaMelo Ball is going to be able to deal with Trey Young reigning 48 points, 9 assists, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to deal with that. I don't know that.
And overall, their defense as a unit is not very good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the other part to this too, where Trey goes off. Who's gonna be the other guy? Yeah, who's gonna be the guy on the other side to be like, okay, because running offensive sets and getting guys involved in a game that you're down by 15, like that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe in a close game, but if you're getting down by 15, 20 points, that's just not gonna work. So you're gonna need defense. And you're gonna need defense if you're down by that much to really get you back in the game. And I don't know if Charlotte has the defense to do that. So I'm gonna play it safe here. I'm gonna pick Atlanta, but it wouldn't shock me if Charlotte won.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Atlanta, and I'd be shocked. I would say this: if they lose, Trey Young had a bad shooting game.
Yeah, no, that's true.
He had a bad shooting game.
That's
true.
He had
a bad shooting game. That's the only way I see it.
Who's I'm curious what you think about this. I was looking at both supporting casts minus Ice Trey minus LaMelo Ball. In your opinion, who's got the better supporting cast?
Charlotte.
Interesting. I thought you'd say Atlanta. I think here's what I think. I think Atlanta has the better one. I just think Charlotte's supporting cast has performed better this season. And I don't think they're
I'm only basing it on this season though. I'm basing it on how those teams have performed this season.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's Charlotte for me.
Yeah, they've definitely been the better performing supporting cast this year. But I think the experience of Atlanta's supporting cast, I think for me, is gonna trump Charlotte supporting cast in this game.
Yeah, maybe, but I think Trey Young I think he gonna ape shit, and that's why they're gonna win the game. That's what I think. Like I said, 40 and up.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Sixers versus Raptors. So a couple of interesting things with this series. Matisse Thybulle is not going to be able to play in Toronto for games 3 and 4, and that's your best defender on the team. That's, I mean, they're thinned out. I mean, wouldn't you say that with the trade for Harden? No Seth, no Andre Drummond.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that, though. That's a perfect time to be thinned out as far as offensive scoring power playing the Toronto Raptors. Because, again, and you know my motto is the same. I don't believe nobody going crazy in Toronto for, when I need a 40-point game, I don't think nobody on Toronto is delivering that. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? So this is a good series for the Sixers to not have that lockdown guy to kind of balance out or try to slow down, a top scorer in Toronto. Obviously, Toronto doesn't have one. So, Thybulle, what I think.
Now, when you say they don't have a top scorer, you're saying they don't have a guy that could drop 40.
Right. That's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So so Thybulle, what I think to be Thybulle's contribution, which you say, and we both lock down the guy. There's no guy. They can kind of play. They can Philly and Toronto can kind of play, quote unquote, really good team basketball because I mean, look, I think Embiid is going to Embiid.
Yep.
He's going to Embiid, and
he's going to get his 30.
But we know.
Yep.
But we know what the X factor is. Toronto leads this series in the regular season. I'm not, holding that to them. It's the playoffs. But we know what the X factor is. We know what Embiid's going to do. If James Harden don't show up, they're losing. They're going to lose to the Raptors. That's just what it is.
And James Harden for I don't know, 2-3 weeks has not had a James Harden game. He's been struggling. Yeah. He's been.
He can't flop. He's not. I'm willing to bet he ain't averaging that 10 to 15 free throws that he normally get when he was in his zone, in his bag.
Yeah, so that's the thing. He gonna turn it on? Is he all of a sudden gonna be able to flop?
Maybe. I mean, maybe the refs will show him that love. Maybe. Maybe, but I doubt it. I mean, they've seemed to have made a conscious effort where they're not letting that get off.
Right.
It seems that way.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
So James Harden, unfortunately, and obviously he's going to give us a chance to prove it, and is unfortunately going to be down to the 18, 22 point a game dude. And that's not going to be enough.
That ain't enough. That's not enough to beat the Raptors. And look, I'm gonna show Toronto some love because I know they a team that plays in Canada, so they don't get the coverage and stuff. But Van Vliet is a good basketball player. Siakam, they could play.
They have a team of good players.
Yeah, they got this rookie Scotty Barnes that's been filling in for OG when OG was out, and he's been doing a good job, man. They got a good team. I'm gonna admit I was wrong about Toronto this year. I was wrong because I thought that Kyle Lowry's departure was gonna hurt them. I really did. And they're a number 5 seed in the East that's a lot better than in previous years. So I got to give them some love. I got to pay homage to him. And Nick Nurse, I think he's one of the best when it comes to drawing up some plays in terms of being a good coach and all that. So this series can go either way. I'm still gonna pick Philly because I think. At the end of the day, like you said, with the Thybulle thing not being able to play in Toronto, I don't know that matters all that much. But if James Harden doesn't turn into Houston James Harden, they're going to be in trouble
in the playoffs. Houston
in the playoffs,
Harden.
right?
That's important to say.
Right.
Yeah.
They're in trouble if he doesn't revert back to that guy. But I'm still gonna go Philly because Embiid, and I get it. He's gonna do what he does, but he might have a 40-point game a couple of times in this series.
Yeah.
That might be what's needed.
Yeah, I agree. And in that respect, I agree. I'll pick Philly. I pick Philly in 6. But I'll say this. I pick Philly because if they don't win, there's going to be off-season hell to pay, and I don't think they want that issue.
Oh yeah, they already.
I don't think they want that issue.
Get this, bruh. Like the folks in Philly, they don't even call Doc Rivers Doc, bro. They call him Glenn. Like they call that man by his government name, bro. That's
gonna be hell to pay.
That's how bad it's been.
It's gonna be hell to pay.
Yeah. That's how bad it's been. And at that point, I will officially say that the Nets have won the trade. At that point, once they get knocked out.
I hear you, but I hear you.
Once they get knocked out.
And while we're talking Sixers, let me just say congrats to Joel Embiid. Scoring champ. The last scoring champ at center was Shaq in 2000, I think it was. So shouts out to him for doing that, especially in this game where they don't give a fuck about the 5.
Cigardery in the league, bro.
yeah. So shouts out to him for doing that, and that shouldn't go unnoticed. Regardless of how I think this team is going to perform in the playoffs, Joel Embiid is the MVP this year, and I don't think there's any other discussion. I'm not talking about how close it is between number 2. I'm just saying that this is definitively his MVP year, in my opinion. But congrats to him on winning the scoring title.
Then if he gets it, then I'll be happy for him because I certainly thought he was in the conversation last year, and obviously the Joker won it, and there's a lot of people on the Joker side this year also, but I don't think Joker's gonna win it. And me personally, I don't think Joker should be over the Greek Freak, really, to be honest with you, because I think the Greek Freak is my league MVP, but they might not give it to him this year. So
yeah, he's not getting it.
So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of the Greek Freak, so they're going up against the Bulls in the 3-6 matchup. I ain't gonna front, bro.
Sweet.
I ain't gonna front, man. I wish.
Buck sweep,
I wish I can give the Bulls like some kind of advantage and stuff, but kind of like Cleveland. We just talked about them. Kind of like Cleveland. The Bulls have been on this slide the last 3-4 weeks of the season, and it's the same thing. It's injuries. It's Lonzo Ball missing games. It's Alex Caruso missing games. And, their record against winning teams is not all that great. Like,
it's not good.
You look at their record and you look at the games they've won, it's against some scrubs. So, I mean, and I'm a just applaud DeMar DeRozan because I thought this was I thought this was his best season, like from a statistical level, from the fact that he was knocking down buzzer beaters early in the season. The dude had a 50-point game just the other day. I really thought he amped his game up to another level, but I just don't think the players around him are going to be enough to go against the champs to even get one game, bruh. Yeah, you and I are lockstep on this one. This is a sweep, and I don't like sweeps.
But I tell you what, I'll tell you what. If DeMar DeRozan gets them a game, all props. I mean, I would love to see DeMar DeRozan get a 50-pointer and get a game.
Yep.
I would love to see that, but we don't believe that. Shouts out to that season though. This was a good season.
Good season. Coach of the Year candidate for Billy Donovan, even though I don't think he's gonna win it.
Yeah, nah, I'm not going that crazy. They, like you said, they slid. I mean, yes, injury was involved, but
there's something about that though, right? Like the end of the season when you're supposed to be at your best, they slid. So Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't put him in that conversation. And Bickerstaff in Cleveland, kind of the same thing. You can't put him in that spot.
absolutely the same thing. You can't put him there. No.
Right. Western Conference. So there's a game tonight. Timberwolves and Clippers. What's your thoughts about that one?
Clippers.
Clippers. Okay.
Paul George is Paul. I think Paul George like.
Playoff P,
I'm
huh?
putting my money on Paul. I'm putting my money on. Yeah, I'm putting my money on Paul George, and with respects to Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, who've had good years this season. The Clippers have been here several times, perennially.
Ty Lue.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Ty Lue, who keep it a bean. You gotta kind of put him in that conversation as one of the better coaches in the game. I don't think they lose to the Timberwolves tonight. I don't think that happens.
So overall, I do think that these two teams get these final two spots because I don't believe in the Spurs. I don't believe in the Pelicans to get one of those two spots. But I do believe these two teams will occupy 7 and 8, however which way it goes, whether it's Clippers at 7 or it's Timberwolves at 7. I'm gonna go different tonight, man. I'm gonna pick Minnesota tonight to get the 7th spot, and then I think the Clippers will take care of business on the other side. Whoever comes out of that, Spurs, Pelicans. I think the Clippers will take the Clippers will be the 8th seed. I think Minnesota wins tonight to get the 7.
Okay.
Do we have to?
Do you care?
Do we have to? Do we have to?
Nope. We don't. I appreciate your sentiment because I was thinking the same thing. We don't have to.
Because I don't care. Like
I don't care.
It's not. I mean, it's crazy. It's not even on the level of Hawks Hornets to me.
Yeah.
Like those two teams, are closer than those other two teams.
I know Murray is on the Spurs. Who else is on?
And he's had a good season.
Yeah. He balled.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. These are just mediocre teams right now. I mean, what are we even talking about? I mean, I don't even care that the Pelicans traded for C.J. McCollum. Like, I get it. Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, I get it. Nice squad, but they kind of, they kind of ended the season on a nice note. But nah. Yeah, but just for the sake, I'm just gonna pick the Pelicans to beat San Antonio because I don't want the Spurs in. I don't want Pop in the tournament.
I mean, but do you want the Pelicans? I don't want the Pelicans in there either.
No, I'm just talking about as far as moving to the next game.
Oh. I ain't got nothing against Pop.
No, I don't either. I just the Spurs have had their moments. Like this
moment is definitely over.
Yeah, exactly. Let somebody else get some burn. Give me Pelicans over Spurs. So the other matchups that are set. So Golden State's at the 3, and I think Denver is at the 6, right?
Yep.
So
how do I feel?
Cause Steph, what's the status with Steph now? Like that's the big question.
He should be he might be practicing tomorrow or today. It was something like that. Like he's close to practicing.
Yeah, right.
I mean, do we think for a second that he's injured, that he's gonna miss game 1?
My guess is, if I had to put money on it, no, I don't think he's missing game 1.
Yeah. Now, do you believe that? Like, sure, he'll probably be there. He probably won't be 100%. I don't.
And Steph hasn't really been Steph down the stretch either before he got hurt.
Been injured. I mean, yeah. I mean, but look, I don't think for a second that look. Steph will be there. He'll be shooting. He'll at least be enough, even if he's not producing. He'll be enough to get some other things shaking on within the offense. Clay's there. You know what I'm saying? Am I ready to say that? I mean, Denver. I got Golden State, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Denver wins this series, even if Steph misses the first 2 games. I don't think Denver wins this series now.
Jamal Murray's not there.
Yeah, like that's disappointing for me. Like as a basketball fan, like I want to see that dude on the court because that dude in the bubble was making it rain. Like I want to see that dude, and we're not going to get to see him. So, and Michael Porter Jr. is not there either.
Yeah.
So it's like what Aaron Gordon. Like, nah.
I watched Aaron Gordon play the other day, a couple of weeks ago. I think they played the Bucks. I think they played a couple of weekends ago. And no shade to Aaron Gordon. But Aaron Gordon is just a guy. He can score points. He's a good 16 to 20 point guy. But he's just a guy.
Right.
No shade to him. But I mean, there's nobody. I mean, Joker's they're obviously there, but. Nah, that's not gonna be enough.
If you let Joker, Joker could get his triple double and they could still lose. Like that's how. Like
that's just what it is.
That's just what it is. Because nobody else is really gonna do much other than him. So so give me Warriors in 5.
I'm with you. Give me
I'm being disrespectful to Denver, but I just think
I'm being nice to Denver.
Because I just think, and look, I'm thinking about the series last year against Phoenix, where they really just had no chance in that second round matchup. And Phoenix is, I don't want to say they're built the same way as Golden State, but they're built in a sense that those guys can run. Like, they're going to get buckets. Like, you got guys that can contribute. Golden State has those guys. Andrew Wiggins is going to probably give you a good, 17 points. That's cool. Jordan Poole's going to probably give you 15 points. That's cool as long as the Splash Brothers are doing their thing and Draymond is helping facilitate the offense.
Yeah, and you just don't know who might go off because between Clay and between Steph, any given night, somebody might go 40 plus. So it's just... that's just tough. That's just tough. And it's only one guy on Denver that's capable. And
he ain't there. He's not there. So
yeah, outside of Joker, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Joker's capable.
Oh, okay.
Joker's capable.
Yeah. So I thought about this. East and West, like who's the team under pressure in each conference, and I think it's obvious in most people's eyes. Philly, for me, is under the most pressure in the East to do something. In the West, for me, it's the Utah Jazz. And the reason I say it's the Jazz is because it seems like every year they get to that second round and they just stumble, right? So... everybody else in that conference right now, when you look at Denver, who's made a conference finals already, Golden State's got chips. The Clippers, they've been to a conference final. Phoenix was in the finals last year. Dallas, I think Dallas still has some ways, even though Luka's a monster. But it's clearly the Jazz, and they've been doing this for a while now. And it seems like their ceiling has always been the second round.
Yeah.
They got a great chance of knocking the Mavericks off in this series. And I think Luka's not going to play in game 1 if all the reports are correct.
No, I didn't hear that report. I just know he's on a boot or some shit like that.
Yeah, like they're really taking their time with it, but I'm more inclined to say he's going to miss game 1. And if that's the case, then Utah's got a chance to steal game 1. And if you could do that and get the series in your favor, and you got one of the best home courts in the NBA, you go up 3-1 on these guys, it's a wrap. In my book, anyway, if you're the Jazz and you go up 3-1, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like statistically, it is for most teams when you go up 3-1. So,
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Exactly. This is my only upset here. This is my only upset right now. I'm gonna go Jazz here over the Mavs in 6.
But that's contingent on them losing game one and then going to Utah and still and sweeping in Utah.
Yes.
Um, it's hard for me. If you're putting my leg to make a prediction, I'm still gonna pick Dallas because I think Luka is gonna come back and make up that game in Utah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so give me Dallas. Give me Dallas in 6.
Dallas in 6. Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey,
But that's
so
contingent on Luka coming back, by the way.
got you. Got you. So I saw this on Twitter the other day, and there has been talk about Damian Lillard being the best trailblazer of all time in the history of the franchise. And obviously, there's some people that combat that. There's obviously some people that say, yeah, he's the greatest in the franchise's history. I thought I'd bring this up because, we've had these conversations in the past before about other players and other teams. I'm curious what you think in regards to the Trailblazers and who you think is their best player in the history, like all time. Is it Damian Lillard to you, or is it somebody else?
It's hard. It's difficult for me to put Damian Lillard above Clyde Drexler. But if I'm being honest, and I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say Damian Lillard is the best.
So I'm thinking about guys like you just mentioned, Clyde the Glide. I'm thinking about the 77 championship team that had Bill Walton on it. So, I mean, he's got to be somewhat in consideration. That's the only championship in the history of that team.
Yeah.
Rasheed Wallace was a very known face in the Trailblazers.
But wouldn't he? Wouldn't you say he was a better Piston?
Yes, I would say that because of the championship
Okay.
and because I thought he did play better in Detroit than he did in Portland. Just by play alone. I mean, forget the championship, but I thought he played
Hmm.
better in Detroit. So yeah, you might have a point there. I'm thinking about a guy like Brandon Roy, and if he hadn't got hurt with all the injuries, maybe he might be the guy.
But
Um,
unfortunately, he did get hurt, and
exactly.
I can't put him in the conversation for that.
Exactly. So just thinking about those players, it's between Clyde Drexler and it's between Damian Lillard. Um, if we're gonna go skill for skill, um,
Clyde Drexler is a more skilled basketball. No, I take that back. Clyde Drexler is a more athletic player than Damian
I was
Lillard.
just about to say I think Dame is more skilled than
Yeah,
Clyde
yeah.
Drexler. Clyde he was sneaky, but he was really good. I mean, he's all a famer, but
He was good. Yeah,
he was. Now, I mean, the one thing they're gonna hold against him was that he left, or he didn't leave. He got traded to Houston to get the chip,
and
but
why would they? And why would
it's
they hold it against? Why would they hold that against him?
I don't know. I'm
As
just
far as
making
his performance in Portland, as far as his performance in Portland,
right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, some people might argue that. I'm not gonna be the one to argue that because at the end of the day, Damian Lillard don't have a championship with the Blazers either. So that
yeah,
just kind of negates it. It really just comes down to who's the better player.
yeah. And for me, it's Damian Lillard. Not never in history did anybody have to guard a Blazer player from the logo. It's never happened. You have to guard Damian Lillard from the logo because if you mess around, he'll shoot it from the logo and make it.
Hmm.
And that changes how defenses work when you gotta cover up to damn near half court defensively because your point guard who brings the ball up might just decide I'm gonna shoot it from the logo and fuck around and make it.
Hmm.
So that changes things in a way that uh, and again, with respect due to Clyde Drexler because he's a Hall of Famer and a vicious ass player,
Hmm.
but you don't have you never had to do that with Clyde Drexler. That's a whole different dynamic that he consistently delivers on in Damian Lillard. that makes you have to defenses have to play that team different.
And at this point, and not that this won't ever happen, but there's always trade rumors around this dude, and the dude is just like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving Portland. And in a league where players bolt small market teams for larger markets, he hasn't done that up to this point. Now he might do it, but for the sake of this conversation, he hasn't done that yet. And not to say that Clyde bolted again. He got traded to a team that he helped win a championship with. So, I'm gonna go Damian Lillard, man. As the best in franchise history. I know people are gonna scoff at it. I know people disagree. Whatever age group you're in, I get it. But it's all the things you said. It's the fact that I think he's more skilled than Clyde Drexler, even though Drexler, was a beast back then. I just think it's Dame Lillard. And that's what I'm rolling with.
Yep. I don't know what else you got, but I know we kind of jumped over this topic, and it's not a big topic for me, but it is an important topic. To say congrats to Stephon Diggs. I don't feel like we said congrats to Stephon Diggs. We just mentioned him in the Deebo Samuel's conversation, but definitely congrats to Stephon Diggs on his contract extension. Well deserved. I'm glad they took care of it because Buffalo is stacked offensively, and you would hate for your number one receiver to be disgruntled.
Yeah. Congrats to Stephon Diggs. Buffalo, man, they are doing everything. They are doing everything in their power to get to the Super Bowl. Like, all the moves they've made up to this point, like, you really can't have an issue with it. Like, Von Miller.
Jamison Crowder is a sneaky move, dog.
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder is a sneaky good move.
All their moves have been, like, if not A+A, like, that. There's not a wrong move they've made. In this Josh Allen era of Buffalo Bill football, they haven't made a wrong move in my book. They just got to get there. They just got to get past Kansas City. That's all it is. Yep. That's all it is.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know that Kansas City is going to be in the way as like we think.
Right.
It's going to be different.
It's just too many teams, man.
It's going to be different.
It's just a lot of.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be different for Kansas City though, specifically.
Oh yeah. They arming up.
Different for Kansas City.
Teams are arming up.
Yeah, and more than that, they're fast. Look, no shade to McCole Hardman because he's a fast receiver, a good receiver, and he ain't that. He ain't that though.
Nah, he ain't that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. But yeah, man, shout out to Stephon Diggs again. And it sets up what I think when you look at guys like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson in a couple more years, or really after this coming season, who knows? Those guys might want to get that money.
It would make sense. It would make sense for those teams, Minnesota and Denver, to take care of them this coming off season.
You mean Cincinnati? You mean?
I'm sorry, Cincinnati. I'm thinking about Jefferson. I was thinking about Jefferson because he's another guy that should be in that conversation.
Yeah. Facts.
But they need to be going ahead and taking care of that now.
Interesting to see if the there's a lot of talk about the Bengals and their past history of being cheap. Interesting to see if they take care of Jamar Chase. I personally think they're going to. I think I mean with the recent success, you kind of have to do things a little differently now. So I don't expect it any different. So I don't have anything else, man. I did have this Cam Newton thing, but I'll be honest with you, I did not watch that interview. Nor did I see any clips of it. I did see some words about it, but I really don't have a strong enough opinion to really comment on how I feel about it because I want to not just watch a 1 minute clip. I want to see the entire podcast episode that he was on before I make my judgment about what he said about how he feels about women. So I'll just hold off on that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think it's going to be that competitive. We need to talk about it next week.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was. I mean, it could be much to do about nothing. So
yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. So I want to give a quick shout out to Dollars and Cents in the Facebook Live chat.
Appreciate you, bruh.
Yeah, he had this one comment here quickly. He said Luka is said to have a calf injury, and we know how that affects the rest of your body as it overcompensates. So, yeah, it's the calf injury. We'll see if Luka's ready for game 1. I think it's Saturday, so we'll see about that. Thanks to everybody else in the chat. Mocha Bella, appreciate you. Everybody else that's been watching on Facebook Live, we appreciate y'all as well. Don't forget, folks, make sure y'all continue to follow us on the Facebook page. Click the like button. You'll get these notifications of when we do these lives on Facebook. Also, follow us on the YouTube channel and on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. And also, you can follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got questions or any comments about the show, you can email us. The email is barbershopsportstalk1 at gmail.com. So, Maestro, my bro, it's been another week, man. Can't wait to get after it next week, bro.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Y'all have a good week. Be safe out there. And peace out, folks.
Love.
Recording stopped.